Hi, this is Matt Clark, and in this video we're going to talk about winning the buy box. In a minute here you'll learn exactly what that is and why it matters so much, especially for drop shipping products or selling any products that are already on Amazon, or if you're selling any products bundling or that sort of thing. If anything that you add to Amazon that's not on there already, if you sell anything or add anything that could possibly be sold by somebody else in the future, this is absolutely critical. So what is the buy box? I'll show you in a minute. I'll go out to Amazon.com and show you what the buy box is. But first I want to mention that this is actually, fairly unique. Amazon is, one of the most pioneering online retailers in the world, if not the most. Just by sheer size, they're constantly innovating and constantly coming up with new ways to do things. And one thing that they've done is that instead of like on other sites like buy.com and that sort of thing, well, you'll see the same exact product listed multiple times by multiple sellers. You see this especially with comparison shopping engines such as PriceGrabber and Shopping.com and that sort of thing. You'll see the same price, same product, same image, same everything listed multiple times just because there's one listing per seller. Now this looks a little cluttered when you're searching for products and it doesn't look all that great. So what Amazon's done is they basically have require, if you want to sell a product that's already on Amazon, you can't just create another listing unless you do some sneaky stuff like I've showed you in this training, and you'll find out if you haven't already watched that. They basically want you to list your product for the one that's already selling on Amazon. So rather than creating a new listing, you have to tell them, okay, this one that's already selling on Amazon, I want to sell it too. That sounds nice and it doesn't sound like that big of a deal, but the problem is that whenever somebody buys something on Amazon and they buy that one product, only one of the sellers is going to get that sale. And that sale is determined almost all of the time by the person in the buy box. So without trying to explain this through a presentation, I'm just going to jump over to Amazon.com and show you what I'm talking about. So here we are at Amazon.com, and you can see that I've pulled up a hammock, basically, Grand Trunk Ultralight Camo Hammock. I just found this searching through the sports and outdoors products. You'll see this example that I'm about to show applies to just about every product on Amazon, except for the ones that you'll be creating as unique products and the other unique products that are already out there. So what I'm showing you here is that if you look over on this right-hand side in this blue shaded box, you'll see that you can click the Add to Cart button. You can add a quantity, add to cart with free 2-day shipping, and that sort of thing. Basically, what this does is that if you think about this from the seller's perspective, if you listed a product on Amazon and you're selling on here, but somebody just but there's other people selling the same product, but somebody goes to this one product page and clicks Add to Cart. They haven't chosen you as a vendor. They haven't chosen you as the person they want to buy it from. A lot of people think that they're just buying from Amazon. They sort of don't realize that a lot of times that the products are being sold by other people and actually being shipped by other people. So if somebody goes up here and clicks Add to Cart, and you're a seller on here amongst 30 other sellers, then the problem is only one person gets that sale. How do they determine who gets that sale? It's determined by quite a few different factors, but those factors contribute to who gets the buy box, basically. This thing over here is the buy box. And as you can see on this particular product, it actually says ships from and sold by Amazon.com. So Amazon's either got their own list, got their own inventory for this product, or somebody's basically given them inventory for this product. And this, you'll see this a lot if you're selling popular products. Ships from and sold by Amazon.com. So this is being shipped from Amazon's warehouse, and this is one of the big factors that sort of plays into who gets this one purchase that somebody makes from this page. And what determines this is if you're doing fulfillment by Amazon and that sort of thing. And generally, if there's a product sold by Amazon.com like this, you're going to want to do fulfillment by Amazon, or you're going to have a heck of a time competing. The reason for that is that there's a ton of factors that go into whether or not you get in the buy box, and we'll go through those in a second here, but it's tough competing with Amazon on their own website. So what I want to show you is that to be able, say you're not in the buy box, say you're not the top rated seller for this product, how do you get any sales? Basically somebody has to go over here. You see all this nice imagery and this sort of thing and all this sort of text and images and all this kind of thing. How do they access the other sellers? They have to click this tiny little link says 21 new from $15.98. And so the product, I don't know if you caught it on that last page, but it was listed at $16.12. This is the one that's actually shown on the product page. So as you can see right here, there are different prices on here, and these are all different sellers. There's 21 different people selling the same product. $15.98. These are people with pretty good ratings. 97% positive, 95% positive, 96, 1,500 ratings, 2,000, 4,500. You can see that these people are doing fairly well. One problem is that their prices are all substantially higher. 25 bucks, 25, 25, 26, 20, 19. And you get up to these top two. $16.12, $15.98. Eligible for free Super Saver shipping. Eligible for free Super Saver shipping. It's kind of a tongue twister there. But you can see that the price, actually $16.12, is the one listed in the buy box. And that one is actually a few cents higher than this. Part of the reason is because it's being sold by Amazon.com as opposed to Fulfillment by Amazon. Like I said, you're going to have a heck of a time competing with them, and that's something to watch out for. But on other products, you won't see that. There's a lot of products out there that are new, especially if you're selling long tail products and that kind of thing, that you're not going to be competing directly with Amazon.com. You're going to be competing with people like these, Outdoor Shopping and that kind of stuff. And just one big factor, we'll go into all the factors, that you can see here is price. If you're able to compete on price here, you can do fairly well. Just depends where you're getting products from, what kind of pricing you can get, and that sort of thing. You can also see here that their shipping rates, $5 shipping, $5.40 shipping. That's going to hurt them too, because Amazon realizes, they're not stupid, that you can't just price this thing at $3 and then charge $30 for shipping and be like, hey, I got a lower price. It's all factored in together. So now that you know what the buy box is, let's just look at it one more time. So this one seller basically gets to be the top seller for this product, and the top seller for this product gets all the sales when somebody just clicks add to cart, rather than having to go through this whole other process. The only way you get any other sales is going through this process if you're not in the buy box. So as you can see and as you can imagine, I'm just trying to sort of pound in your head that the buy box is absolutely critical if you're selling products that are already on Amazon. Factors that affect your buy box status. First one, as we saw in there, is price. Price is extremely important. You need to have low prices. That's how Amazon's built its business, and that's its sort of reputation. And like I said, shipping rates factor into that price. And then category. Depending on what category you're selling into, it's going to be easier or harder to get into the buy box. There's a lot of categories out there that Amazon just basically ships all their own products, and then, like I said, you're competing against Amazon itself, basically, which is not good. So it just sort of depends on the category as well. And whether or not you have a Pro Merchant account is a factor, which is why I've told you from the beginning, just go ahead and set up the $40 a month account, and don't even worry about doing the free one. It's not worth your time. So, and then the last thing is having a featured merchant status. Now that sounds nice and fancy, but it doesn't really make any sense to you if you don't know what that is. So what that is basically a status that allows you to get featured in the buy box. Without that, you can't really get in the buy box unless you're the only seller. So becoming a featured merchant. To do this, it's not something you necessarily can control. It's something that'll happen over time, and you can do some things to make it happen a little faster. First thing is order defect rate. Basically, Amazon, within your Seller Central account, Amazon tracks all kinds of different performance metrics. One of their main one is defect rate, which is basically how many orders did not get fulfilled for whatever reason. It doesn't really matter what the reason was. Amazon allows you to specify reasons, whether it was customer canceled or whatever. It doesn't really matter. Amazon will basically count just about everything against you, no matter what happened with the order. So order defect rate is a big factor. And that includes, orders you had to cancel because the distributor couldn't ship out stuff, and just about anything else. So then other seller performance metrics, you'll see all of those in your account, but they all matter, and Amazon tracks them really well, and they're all pretty straightforward. Speed of delivery. If you're able to deliver products through fast shipping or just regular shipping, just getting them out quick for customers, not waiting 3 or 4 days before you actually process an order on Amazon. If you have an outsourcer doing this, having them be on top of it, That's also a factor. The faster you can get it to customers, the better. 24/7 customer service. This is actually from Amazon's help documentation. They recommend offering 24/7 customer service. So that's always that's a factor, I guess, as far as becoming a featured merchant. Time and experience on Amazon, as you've seen in some of these examples, that some merchants out there have hundreds of thousands, literally ratings, which is basically whenever you order a product on Amazon, roughly 21 days later, you're sent an email asking to review that seller. So then basically those ratings over time contribute to your seller rating. So you want to keep those as good as possible. And time on Amazon is also a factor. Fulfillment by Amazon is another big factor. You'll see in a lot of products on Amazon that, all else held equal, the dominant ranking factor is fulfillment by Amazon. Amazon likes this because instead of them having to worry about whether or not you're actually going to get a product to a customer, or whether or not, because customers also don't like necessarily getting 3 or 4 packages for one order. So if you're not doing fulfillment by Amazon, then one order may be coming from Amazon, one order may be coming, or one product may be coming from another distributor, and one product may be coming from you. It's all a little confusing for the customer. So Amazon likes to basically have all the inventory with them, but with fulfillment by Amazon, they basically don't pay for the inventory up front, so they're basically holding your inventory. But they like that because they can put all this stuff together and they're able to ship everything out of their own warehouse, so it all looks like it's all coming from them, even though they're basically using your inventory. So that's a little bit about becoming a featured merchant. So recommendations. You're going to want to put products in the correct categories. This is pretty important because you don't want that to be counted against you. You don't want to be in a more competitive category than you have to be in. Use a reliable distributor. Basically having them ship products out correctly, quickly, and preferably giving you tracking numbers to put in for orders. You don't want to be dealing with a distributor that screws up a bunch of orders and that sort of thing. That can cause a lot of problems. Or that has products out of stock and doesn't tell you, and people buy them and you have to refund customers. That's really going to negatively affect you. Ship as soon as possible, or at least mark the items as shipped. Sort of threw that part in parentheses as a sort of little sneaky trick. Amazon doesn't require you to put in tracking numbers. So if you know an order is about to be shipped, maybe a day or 2 later or something like that, if you go ahead and mark it as shipped, Amazon, as far as they're concerned, the product is shipped. So that sort of keeps your metrics high as far as fast as quickly shipping stuff out. Now this little trick doesn't work so well if you wait too long, because then customers start getting pissed and start giving you bad ratings and A to Z guarantees and that kind of thing. But a few days doesn't hurt and it keeps your metrics high. Respond to customer emails fast. You cannot use an autoresponder. Believe me, we've tried, and that does not really count. You basically have to have a human. If a customer sends you an email, you basically need to have somebody responding to them, as quickly as possible, within reason. 24 hours, that sort of thing is good. But the faster, the better. That's a factor. Treating customers well, actually carrying products you can ship, carrying, if you're creating new products, making sure those listings and that sort of thing reflect what's actually in the product, so that people aren't, very angry and upset whenever they get the products, because that can. People tend to do A to Z guarantees and that sort of thing if you start treating them poorly. So treating them well and watching your customer metrics is a good recommendation for getting in the buy box. So I have a huge or on the screen right now because we've been talking about getting in the buy box. The buy box is extremely important if you're selling products that are already on Amazon. So, this is the drop shipping module and that kind of thing, but there are other ways which you've seen, there are other videos in this module that teach you how to basically bundle products to create unique products, so you don't really have to worry as much about the buy box. So alternatives to having to fight tooth and nail to get in the buy box, because sometimes it's going to be near impossible. Alternatives, first one is bundled products. So if you can take any physical product, and even if you're drop shipping it, and bundle it with another product, then you basically have a proprietary listing and you don't have to worry about the buy box anymore. This is actually in Amazon's help documentation, and they find this completely legitimate. You can sell low competition products where there aren't as many people competing for the buy box, and you may be able to compete just based on price and that sort of thing. So that's an alternative. You can sell private label or proprietary products where you are the only person that can and ever will be able to list those products unless you start wholesaling to people or that sort of thing. or Kindle books. Kindle books, or even just regular physical books, are another good way to basically create a listing on Amazon and not have to worry about the buy box, because you'll be the only person selling it. So those are just a few alternatives, so don't get caught up with, oh, I'm never going to get in the buy box for my products, because there are ways around it, but you definitely need to know what the buy box is to be selling on Amazon.